section we've been working on. But I'm not going to, because it'd just be a waste of your time and mine and money. There's no reason to finish it because it's not going to be used, but we can imagine that it's finished. To put this thing back in can be difficult on certain doors. Whenever you stretch the fabric over a door, it can actually bend the door a little bit, not much where you can see it or it's going to be any issue to you. But when you're fitting this thing back in there, you'll be able to tell because it won't match up perfect. So you're going to have to come through, and on the ledge where this thing meets your actual door panel, you'll have to glue it back to the door. But that's not going to be how it stays on there. That's just going to be temporary so that we can flip it over and work on the back of it. But lining it up is essential. You may need somebody to help you hold the door because it can be kind of awkward working with these things. The door panels are light, this thing is light. They can move around real easy on you, and it's really real precision work to get these things to match back up just right. So having somebody help or using clamps or whatever you need to do to get this thing to match back up with the door just right is going to be essential to how the door ends up looking. But anyway, you can take hot glue is what I would advise to use, or you can use just super glue. That may work, to some extent, but you kind of need a glue with a little bit of body to it to hold it on there. You would need something though that dries really quickly. You can't really sit there and hold the thing for 2 hours waiting for some Gorilla Glue to dry on you. You need it to be quick. When what you would do if you actually got it, set up right and everything, you could come to the back and around these edges where that piece meets your other piece, you could take just a soldering iron and melt the plastic together on that edge. You don't want to go too deep, obviously. You don't want to go through the front of the door panel, but melting it back together will help. Then you can go over that seam with something like Gorilla Glue if you have Gorilla Glue. If you like to use it, I love to use Gorilla Glue. It's really strong. You can go over that seam with Gorilla Glue and then lay a layer of fiberglass or two over that seam. Especially, well, I say that, but you're going to have to scuff up the door panel around that seam, so your fiberglass will adhere to the plastic. But you lay a couple layers over that seam, maybe just 3 inches wide, across the seam, so it's grabbing on either side, and let it dry like that, and that should hold your top piece to the door pretty well. Between you've got Gorilla Glue, you've got hot glue that's in the actual seam holding the door, you've melted it together, and you've used fiberglass. There's no way that thing's going to come off. It's going to be pretty solid to the door. But right now I'm just mocking up what I've got, just kind of eyeballing where it's going to go, and just kind of show y'all too how it would end up kind of looking. And that's pretty much it. Once you've hit that stage, once you've got all this, all you're left to do is run your wires. Of course, by now you would have painted or laid your fabric or whatever over the door. But there you have it.